Welcome back, everybody. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to replace the carburetor on a Stihl KM56. Alright, let's get things started. Removing that air filter cover as always. Take that air filter rod out of there and we'll move on to removing the air filter housing or the intake here. So we're replacing this carburetor because the choke shaft is broken off, and after ordering parts and rebuilding and all that, in the end it's just cheaper to replace the carburetor, so that's what we're going to do here. Remove that air filter housing. There's a hose that connects to that, don't forget that part. So most of the time it just slips right off. And then we're going to go ahead and remove the recoil starter, 3 screws, and the whole assembly comes off. Makes it easier to do because you can access the fuel lines and the throttle cable and everything there. Next, you're going to want to get the gas out of it if you have gas in it. This one was empty, so we're good to go, because when you take the fuel lines off, the pressure in the tank will force the fuel through the fuel line. That's what it's made to do. So it's easier if you drain the fuel or loosen the fuel cap. Either way, you need to drain it anyways. Remove the throttle cable like that. I just rotate the throttle lever and then slide the anchor out. And then I use this fuel line removal tool to remove the fuel lines. It's actually a limiter cap puller, but I use it for fuel lines and it does a really good job actually. But this is the original carburetor, so these fuel lines are pretty stuck on there. But so that other one is the return line, and this is the inlet line. So just remove both of them. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, and then your carburetor's free. That's pretty much it. Video's over. Just kidding. So as you can see the comparison, you see the orange knob on there for choking it. As you can see, the other one is missing because it broke off. So, new carb. And these carbs are they're cheaper to replace than they are to rebuild because of our labor rate. And I'm just going to go ahead and clean everything up here and all that debris, get all that nasty stuff out, because the carburetor was leaking to the exterior. Pretty common on handheld equipment. Slide your new carburetor on there. It doesn't matter the order of how you do this, but I put the throttle cable on first, and then I put the return line on top, and then the intake line on the bottom. The green one's a little bit tricky to get in, but a little bit of practice and good to go. If you're liking the videos, please like, subscribe. It goes a long way in the old YouTube algorithm. I try to make these videos so in case you have this same machine, you just look it up on YouTube and my video pops up, and you got a step-by-step that shows you where fuel lines go and where cables go and the direction of everything. It's just easier that way. So when you connect this air filter intake here, make sure you connect that little hose that goes to it. It's just a tank vent, and it just puts the vapors, if you will, back into the intake to be utilized again rather than going into the atmosphere. 2 8mm nuts, no one here. Also make sure that gasket is in between this air filter housing and the carburetor. Normally it's stuck on there, but just keep that in mind. Air filter goes on, and then we're going to go ahead and throw the air filter cover on. So you literally only need 2 tools. You don't need a drill to do this either. You can do this with hand tools. Recoil starter assembly slides right over the back there, and then the 3 screws will tighten it down. So again, we do these all day, every day, and it's a very common thing to replace on most equipment. So 99% of the time, it's a fuel-related problem. So we're just going to throw these 3 screws in. We're almost done. Gas her up. Always replace the fuel filter. Do not forget that. They're cheap, and it's just like putting old oil in a brand new engine. Just replace the fuel filter. You use a little hook or something, or some pliers to pull it out, but just make sure when you stick that back in there that it doesn't kink up. Make sure it's the same way how it came out is how it goes back in. We use can fuel in all our equipment. It lasts almost forever and keeps the machine from coming back. And she's ready to rock. So we're just gonna prime her up, put her in choke, and the work will do the talking here. So that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you got the guts. And we'll catch you guys next time.